Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to Affairscloud, Learn to Lead. My name is Vikas Rana. So students, we have an app by the name Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. This application is a one-stop solution for all the students who are preparing for government exams. This application is valid just for the Android users. Once you have downloaded the application, you can go and log in through your Gmail ID, and once you have logged in, you will be moved on to this page where you can see the various courses that are offered by us. To avail this course, you can use a code that is CRACK10 to get an additional 10% discount on the purchase you make. If we talk about the course, why this course is so important, how you will be benefiting through this course. If you see, we provide current affairs on the daily basis, on weekly basis, as well as monthly basis. On daily basis, we will be providing you with PDFs of the content of that particular day. Apart from this, you will be getting a quiz on your application that will be of 20 questions quiz on daily basis that will help you in boosting your preparation. Apart from that, on weekly, you will be getting a 50 questions quiz for your preparation, as well as if you see, you will also get a PDF that will contain all the important compiled news, current affairs of that particular week. And similarly, for monthly, you will be getting a top 100 questions PDF of that whole month. That is very important PDF and will be covering the most important news of that particular month. Alright, apart from this, we also cover banking awareness. All the banking aspirants, those who are preparing for bank exams, will absolutely love our course because we cover almost 99.99% of the syllabus of your bank exams. Here you will see we will also provide with quizzes as well as the PDFs. Apart from this, if you see the topic wise, for example, there are multiple questions that are related to obituary, important days, who won which event, who was awarded with which award. So all these topics that are related to your GS also or GK, such as apps and web portals, these are the current affairs that are important days, your books and authors, the new applications that were launched, new government schemes that were launched by the government, or your international affairs or your national affairs. All these topics, there are 20 such topics of which we are providing the PDF, as well as we teach on YouTube, where you can go and check our channel and you will be surprised that the content that we are providing is absolutely amazing. Alright, so this will be helping you to boost your preparation in the long term. This YouTube channel, you can go and subscribe to our channel, that is your Affairscloud, that will help you for your revision purpose also. Apart from this, we cover the state current affairs also. Here you can see the current affairs and all these content that we provide you that are bilingual. That means we provide you in English as well as both in Hindi also. Alright, so all the students who are from the Hindi language will also be benefited through our course. Also friends, you can purchase our course for 2 years. Alright, also for 1 year. If the students have exam or they are planning for the long term and they want to study for 2 years and they are expecting to give exam after 1 year, then they can opt for 2 years. As well as if the student is planning to give exam next year, then they can go for the 1 year course also. So these are the two types of courses that are available by us. In the end friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue. So friends, in today's video, we will be discussing important current affairs of the topic Science and Technology of April month. The session will be very helpful and important to all of you. All you have to do is pay attention, take notes and watch the video till the end. Apart from this, to all the newcomers, I'll be suggesting to start making notes. Making notes is a very good habit that will fetch you a good habit in the long term. Apart from this friends, you can follow me on the Instagram. My Insta handle is Vikas_RRANA. Let's start with the first topic. First news is Pixel. Pixel has recently launched India's first private commercial imaging satellite by the name Shakuntala. Here we are talking about Shakuntala. What is Shakuntala? Shakuntala is the name of the India's first private commercial imaging satellite. Alright, I repeat, Shakuntala is India's first private communication imaging satellite. This Shakuntala was launched by SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. Question can be asked that Shakuntala was launched into the space using which rocket? It was launched into the space using Falcon 9 rocket, that is of SpaceX. Alright, so these are 2 to 3 things that you need to remember. That what is the name of the first private commercial imaging satellite? It is Shakuntala, and this is India's first private commercial imaging satellite. Then who launched it? It was launched by Pixel, and this was taken into the space using which rocket? It was Falcon 9 rocket, that is of SpaceX, and this was under the Transporter 4 mission. Next, if we talk about this Shakuntala, this is less than 15 kg of this satellite. Shakuntala is capable of capturing orbital images of more than 150 band of colors. That means it can detect more than 150 colors from the visible and infrared spectrum with a resolution of 10 meters per pixel. Alright, so Shakuntala is India's first private commercial imaging satellite. Shakuntala launched by Falcon 9 rocket, and it was of Pixel. Moving on now. Tell me the first question that I am asking you. Loktantra ke sawar and Republican ethics are the selected speeches of which Indian personality? Let me tell you, all these questions, all these MCQs that we will be discussing, they are based on the current affairs only. So Loktantra ke sawar and Republican ethics, these are the selected speeches of which Indian personality? So remember, volume 4 of selected speeches of President Ramnath Kovind sir, named Loktantra ke Sawar and Republican Ethics, was recently released by the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan ji and Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur. So the correct option here becomes, what is the correct option? Ramnath Kovind sir, who is the President of India. These books have been published by the Publication Division under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Next news. SpaceX has launched the first all-private mission to space station. Important question. It will be directly asking to you that which is the first company to launch first all-private mission to space station. Which was it? It is your SpaceX. On 8th of April, SpaceX successfully launched a mission Axiom 1, that is also known AX-1, to the where this was launched to International Space Station. It is a joint mission of NASA, alright, and Axiom Airspace. So coming back, question can be asked that this mission, that is Axiom 1, this is a first private space flight that was recently launched by SpaceX, and this Axiom 1 mission is a joint mission of NASA as well as Axiom Space. Alright, these two organizations you need to remember, between which this particular joint mission has been started. The mission is the first ever all-private space flight that transported astronaut to the International Space Station. This is the first commercial mission to the International Space Station. Then remember, this mission, this Axiom 1 mission, took 4 astronauts into the space. 3 of them were paid customers. They are Larry Corner, Ethan Steeb and Mark Pathy. Along with one was your ex-NASA astronaut who was already there, and Axiom Vice President Michel Lopez of Algeria also took part in this crew mission that is named Axiom 1. That is a joint mission between NASA and Axiom Space. And who took them into space? It was your SpaceX. And this is the first ever all private mission, or you can say it is the first ever all private space flight that transported astronauts to International Space Station. This is also the first commercial mission to the International Space Station. So 2 ways this question can be asked. What is the name of the first commercial mission to the International Space Station, or the first ever all private space flight that transported astronauts to the space station? It was also your Axiom 1. Moving on. Next, IITM, that is your Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, has launched the first ever indigenously developed prosthetic knee. Prosthetic parts are the parts of the body that are manufactured for those people who have lost their any part of the body, be it a leg, be it a arm. So here you can see this person who lost his leg has been provided with a prosthetic knee. All right, it is a, you can say, a robotic knee or a manufactured. This is not a natural knee. So remember, these are the prosthetic knees. And who recently developed the first ever indigenously developed prosthetic knee? It is your Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Highly important. What was the name of this prosthetic knee? It is Kadam. All right, Kadam was the name of this prosthetic knee that was developed by whom? That was developed by IIT Madras. So this is the thing that you need to remember here. All right, this is important. Then moving on. Union Cabinet has approved the signing of MOU with which country in the field of biomedical tools and technologies? I repeat, Union Cabinet approved the signing of an MOU with which country? That means India signed an MOU with which country in the field of biomedical tools and technology. Which is this country? Tell me. It is your United States of America. Recently, Union Cabinet approved the signing of MOU among the Department of Biotechnology of Government of India and Indian Council of Medical Research and International AIDS Vaccine Initiative of USA. The aim of this MOU was to contribute towards the development of improved biomedical tools and technologies to prevent and treat HIV, tuberculosis, COVID-19 and other infectious diseases that are neglected. Alright, so the correct option here becomes we signed this MOU with United States of America for biomedical tools and technologies. Next we are talking about Pinaka Mk1. Mk1 here stands for Mark 1. So if we write Sukhoi 30 Mk1, that means here Mk stands for Mark. So Pinaka Mark 1, that is an enhanced rocket system, and Pinaka air denial munition rocket system was successfully recently tested by the DRDO and Indian Army. So question will be asked directly that who tested the Pinaka Mark 1 enhanced rocket system? It was successfully flight tested by DRDO as well as Indian Army. All right, you need to remember this. It was successfully tested by DRDO and Indian Army, Pinaka Mk1. Another way this question can be asked is that Pinaka Mark 1 rocket system is of which country? It is of India. Similarly, next is an Earth observation satellite that was recently launched, that the name of which was Gaofen 303. This is the satellite of which country? This is the satellite of China. You need to remember the name here. Then similarly, next you need to remember a ballistic missile by the name Shaheen 3. This Shaheen 3 is the ballistic missile of which country? It is of Pakistan. Shaheen 3. Pakistan Army recently conducted the successfully flight test of the surface to air, that is surface to surface. Remember, question can be asked that this Pinaka 3 is what missile? Is it surface to air missile? Is it surface to surface missile? Or is it air to air missile? So you have to remember this is surface to surface ballistic missile Shaheen 3 that was recently tested by Pakistan Army. This has a range of 2750 km. All right, highly important. Next, before this, let me ask you a question, or let me provide you with a detail that recently our Union Minister Giriraj Singh, he is our Union Minister for the Ministry of Rural Development. They launched Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana dashboard. I repeat, what they launched? They launched Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin dashboard. The reason to launch this dashboard is to monitor the implementation of this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. This portal has been developed on the lines of the government's policy of zero tolerance against corruption by the National Informatics Center of Ministry of Electronics and Information. Alright, and this is to provide complete transparency in the implementation of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. So you need to remember that this dashboard for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin was launched by Giriraj Singh. Moving on to the question. The Reserve Bank of India, that is your RBI, has approved the category of banks to provide doorstep banking services. So remember, RBI recently approved the urban cooperative banks to provide doorstep banking services. This RBI of India has doubled the limit on the housing loans from cooperative banks from rupees 30 lakh to 60 lakh for tier 1 cities, from 70 lakhs to 1.4 crore rupees in the tier 2 cities. Also remember, RBI also permitted the rural cooperative banks to financial residential real estate projects to support affordable housing and inclusive growth. If we talk about this UCB, that is your urban cooperative banks, they were also allowed to provide doorstep banking services to meet the needs of customers, especially the senior citizens and the differently abled persons. So coming back, RBI approved which category of bank? They approved the urban cooperative banks to provide doorstep banking services. Also you need to remember the limit. For tier 1, 30 lakh was increased to 60 lakh, and for tier 2 from 70 it was increased to 1.4 crore rupees. Moving on. Next, Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramanna sir has launched a program that is Faster. This is a software for transmitting judicial orders. What is this Faster scheme? First of all, you need to remember. First of all, remember the full form. Faster stands for Fast and Secure Transmission of Electronic Record. As the name suggests, fast and secure transmission of electronic records. All the data, all the judicial orders of the Supreme Court will be now safely transmitted from one location to another or from one person to another. Alright, they will be secured, and that is the reason of this launching Faster program by the Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramanna sir. And the name is Faster. Fast and secure transmission of electronic records. This is a digital platform to communicate the interim orders, stay orders, bail orders, and other orders of Supreme Court to authorities concerned through a secured electronic communication channel. That means if we want to say transfer any order from A to B, this will be a secured as well as fast transmission. For this transmission, this program was launched, that is Faster, and it was launched by the Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramanna sir. Highly important, Faster. Alright, remember this. If you are not making notes, I'll suggest you again to start making notes because it will be very helpful to all of you. If we talk about this Faster, this program was created in response to a news report published in July 2021 regarding the prisoner release delays. It is developed on war footing by the registry in collaboration with the NIC. All nodal officers have been connected to this particular specific judicial communication network by creating a secured pathway so that easy communication of the data can be handled. So this is Faster, that was launched by whom? Who launched this Faster? It was launched by N.V. Ramanna sir, who is the Chief Justice of India. So you have to remember the Faster, and the full form is Fast and Secure Transmission of Electronic Records. Next remember, European Space Agency, that is your ESA, is helping Chandrayaan 3 mission as well as Aditya L1. But what are Chandrayaan 3 and Aditya L1? First of all, remember Aditya L1 is the mission to study the sun. First of all, important thing. What is Aditya L1? It is to study the sun. And what is Chandrayaan 3? It is the third mission of India to the surface of moon to land a lander, or you can say the mission of Chandrayaan 3 lander is to land a rover on the surface of moon. So ESA, European Space Agency, is helping both Aditya 1, that is to study the sun, as well as Chandrayaan 3 lander mission, that is to land a rover on the surface of moon. So coming back, ESA antennas will be in the action to track the satellite of ISRO such as Aditya L1 and your Chandrayaan 3, that is lunar lander and rover. Launch of Chandrayaan 3 will be the India's third mission to the moon. So coming back, which organization or which space agency will be helping India's in the two missions that are Aditya L1 and Chandrayaan 3? It is your European Space Agency. What is the name of the space agency of Russia? And tell me of China also. Russia stands for Roscosmos. And if we are talking about China, China is CNSA. Moving on. Here if we talk about ESA station supports Aditya L1 and Chandrayaan 3 from the beginning of the launch till the end of the mission. Also remember that global deep space communication antennas of ESA will provide support to both the missions of Chandrayaan 3 and Aditya L1. They will help in every step of the way, tracking the spacecraft, pinpointing their locations at crucial stages, transmitting commands, as well as receiving telemetry and valuable scientific data from those particular satellites that are Aditya L1 and Chandrayaan 3. And you need to remember Aditya L1 is to study the sun and Chandrayaan is to study or to land a rover on the surface of moon. That is the mission of, then these two missions are of India, or you can say are of ISRO. Moving on to the question. Technology Development Fund, that is TDF scheme, is associated with which union ministry? TDF scheme, that is your Technology Development Fund, is related to which ministry? It is related to Ministry of Defense. That is option B. Alright, Rajnath Singh has approved the enhancement of the funding under the TDF, that is your Technology Development Fund scheme, to 50 crore rupees per project from 10 crore rupees that was earlier. So it has been increased from 10 crore to 50 crore rupees. In the union budget, 25% of the defense research and development budget was earmarked for private industry, startups and academia. The TDF scheme supports indigenous developments of products and technologies by the MSME sector as well as startups. So coming back, TDF, Technology Development Fund scheme, is associated with which union ministry? It is associated with Ministry of Defense. Moving on. Next, remember Brahmos supersonic cruise missile, and we have multiple times we have discussed this particular question, that what is the name of the fighter jet that was used by Indian Air Force to test the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile? It is your Sukhoi 30 Mark 1. Here Su stands for Sukhoi and MK stands for Mark. So this is just the short form of their aircraft. Su 30 MK1, that stands for Sukhoi 30 Mark 1 fighter jet, was used by Indian Air Force to test the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile. Next we are talking about the INS Vakshir. This is the 6th Scorpene class submarine under the project 75 that was launched in Mumbai. So many information just from this particular image. First thing that you need to remember is the name of this Scorpene class submarine. 6th Scorpene class submarine, that is INS Vakshir. That was launched under which project? It was launched under project 75. Where was this launched? This was launched in Mumbai. So these are the 4 things that you need to remember. First, name, that is INS Vakshir. Which edition of it was? Just remember, this is the 5th thing. That 6th, it was the 6th Scorpene class submarine that was launched under which project? It was launched under project 75. This may also be written as P75. Alright, and where was this launched? This INS Vakshir was launched in Mumbai. Alright, here you can say 6th and last submarine of the Indian Navy's Kalavari class submarines of project 75 or P75, and its name is INS Vakshir. Where was this launched? This was launched in Mumbai. Another thing that you need to remember, Dr. Ajay Kumar, who is the Defense Secretary, was the chief guest during this ceremony. INS Vakshir was constructed by MDL. What is MDL? Madgaon Dockyard Limited. Madgaon Dock Limited stands for MDL, and it was INS Vakshir was developed by MDL under the collaboration with Naval Group of France. INS Vakshir was named after sandfish, that is a deadly sea fish predator of the Indian Ocean. So what is the name of this, or you can say nickname of this INS Vakshir? It is sandfish. Moving on. Next is a new vessel, Urja Prabha, was inducted into the Indian Coast Guard, that is your ICG. Alright, I repeat, a new vessel was inducted into the Indian Coast Guard, that is Urja Prabha. The artillery barge Urja Prabha is 36 meter long, and it is designed to carry cargo ship fuel, aviation fuel and fresh water. The barge will be deployed at far-flung areas in the maritime operational areas, including exclusive economic zone and Lakshadweep and Minicoy Islands. Alright, so this is your Urja Prabha. And where was this launched? It was for whom this was launched? Basically, it was for Indian Coast Guard, and this will be basically helping to deploy cargo such as fuel, aviation fuel, your fresh waters, and it will be deployed in the far-flung areas where we are observing multiple operations. Alright, so this is Urja Prabha that was included into the ICG, that is your Indian Coast Guard. Coming back to the question, what is the GDP growth projection for India in the fiscal year 23 as per the OECD recent report? According to OECD, what is the GDP projection for the fiscal year 23? Tell me. The GDP projection by OECD is 6.9%. OECD stands for Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. They have sharply cut the growth for India to 6.9%, which earlier they projected at 8.1%. That now it has been reduced to 6.9%. The GDP growth was forecasted to be 6.2% in 2023. This is below the Reserve Bank of India's estimate of 7.2% growth. The World Bank also sharply slashed the fiscal year growth for 2023 to 7.5% that was earlier projected at 8.5%. So remember, according to OECD, the growth rate for India for the fiscal year 2023 is now 6.9%, that was earlier 8.1%. Moving on. Next we are talking about broadcast Seva portal. Important, mark this, highly important. Alright, our Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Anurag Thakur has launched a broadcast Seva portal. What is this broadcast Seva portal? This broadcast Seva portal will bring transparency, accountability and responsiveness by reducing human interface and the turnaround time of application. This will be linked to the National Single Window System and it will be directly benefiting more than 900 satellite TV channels, 70 teleport operators, 1700 multi-service operators and 35 community radio stations and many other 380 FM channels and others. It has been integrated with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs portal, and this broadcast Seva portal, it is a 360-degree digital solution that will facilitate stakeholders in seeking permissions, applying for registrations, tracking applications, calculating fees and all other executing payments. Alright, remember this. The objective, as I told you, is to provide a single point facility to the stakeholders and applicants to apply for various registrations, permissions and license that are issued by Information and Broadcasting Ministry for broadcast related activities. So this is your broadcast Seva portal and it was launched by Anurag Thakur. Now friends, let's shift to the homework part, and I hope you are making notes, because if you are not making notes on daily basis, then you will be easily able to answer all the homework questions. First, which institute recently launched India's first agri land price index that was named ISALPI? Highly important question. Alright, I repeat, which institution launched the India's first agri land price index that was named ISALPI along with the Indian agri land market price, that is S Farms India? Which is this institution? Very important question friends, very important question. Next, name the ministry that recently engaged the young professionals through the Sagarmala Young Professional Scheme. I repeat, what is the name of the ministry that was recently engaged the young professionals through the Sagarmala Young Professional Scheme? Apart from this, just give me a hint, what is the Sagarmala Young Professional Scheme also in the comment section. This is your second question. Moving to the third question. Which country recently signed a mutual legal assistance treaty with India to support the investigation and prosecution crimes? I repeat, what is the name of the country that recently signed a mutual legal assistance treaty that with India to support the investigation and prosecution of the crimes? What is the name of the country? Alright, now battery is also down of the pencil, but still we'll go with the fourth question, that is your homework. Name the bank that recently partnered with the Indian Oil Corporation Limited to launch the co-branded contactless credit cards. I repeat, what is, you have to tell me the name of the bank that has recently partnered with IOCL, that is your Indian Oil Corporation Limited, to launch a co-branded credit card. What is the name of this particular bank? So friends, these are the four questions and I want everyone to comment below the answer of these questions, because it will be very helpful for your revision purposes. So friends, that's all for the video. Thank you. That's all for the day friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at Affairscloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is Affairscloud_official. In the end friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number, that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.